Chargers have pretty much wrapped up their OTAs, and that coach and that quarterback, that's a good statement. They are wired. Jim Harbaugh just praised the quarterback, Justin Herbert, that he inherited. The rookie camp, the OTAs, then the veterans camp. He said it was like putting a first coat of paint, a second coat of paint, and a third coat of paint on our team as they installed all this stuff for this new roster that he's got. And he praised his players, saying we're taking advantage of every minute, every hour that we're in this facility. He says, now we'll find out next time we meet. We'll put pads on to see how tough we are. He called Justin Herbert an incredible talent, says the quarterback crushed the talent test that I gave him when he first got here. He said he's an off-the-charts leader. The Chargers made it official. The number one pick, Joe Alt, will start at right tackle. And Trey Pipkins, who was removed as right tackle, has gone inside. He's going to play right guard. And I think that's a pretty good move because he's big, physical, and he's got good feet. He says they think they have enough running backs. They do think the young wide receiver mix will have to grow into the job. But he believes the addition of Bud Dupree, the ex-Steeler, as a pass rusher, bringing back Denzel Perryman, who had moved around, to go with Bosa, to go with Khalil Mack, he thinks they're going to be good. Chargers did something really cool on the final day of the OTAs with all the veterans there. They practiced in Costa Mesa early in the morning. They came down. They bussed down the 50 miles down to Camp Pendleton, and they put on a private walkthrough for all the Marines and their families and their kids. It was really kind of cool. And then some of the San Diego media went there, and in his typical fashion, the First Family of Football owner, whose team is in last place, Dean Spanos, did not want to talk to the San Diego media.
Of course not.
And I can understand why, because he'd get blasted. But anyhow, Harbaugh just way off the charts in his praise of Justin Herbert. So you can be a fan, and the burning question is, I mean, they ripped half this roster apart. All the skill guys around the quarterback are gone. I mean, from Austin Eckler to all the receivers, the tight ends, etc. And they're trying to patch and fix the defense, and they think they had themselves a banner draft. So, John Riley, how good are they? What do you think? Or don't we know till they start playing in September?
It's confusing, because the skill guys weren't necessarily the problem, that they had. I mean, they just had trouble running the ball. Their defense was really spotty. Their guys in coverage were always getting burned. So the fact that Harbaugh's coming in and installing a new system is good news. And he'll get these new draft kids to plug in and play in his scheme. I like that. But it's still a big question mark of what this is going to be, and if this is going to be a fast rebuild or if this is going to take some time. But you say the OTAs are done. So what's next on the schedule as we get closer to preseason football?
Well, they're on summer vacation until about July 23rd. So they've done the rookie draft orientation camp. Then they did 5 weeks of OTAs, and then they did the veterans full roster mini camp that they just completed. So now they're on vacation. Now players will continue to work out by themselves, work out on their own, and they'll come back. I think it's July 23rd. Most everybody opens camp simultaneously. So they've installed everything they're going to run, and now they just be repetitions. And as Harbaugh says, we'll get them into pads and see how they are. But he's got what a lot of other first-time head coaches don't have. He's got a quarterback. Most of these places, I've used this phrase, you probably heard me say it on the radio, when they clean house, place kind of resembles 3 Mile Island. There's nothing left and nobody around.
Right.
Not the case with the Chargers, at least not at the quarterback position, but awful lot of wide receivers, kids in the mix, and obviously going to try to replace Austin Eckler with 3 different people, but 2 of those guys have had injury issues. So it'll be interesting going in. I'm not ready to say this is a playoff team by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, by the way, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are still in the damn division too in Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking is that there's no way they're going to knock off the Chiefs. I'm not sure about Denver and Bo Nix. Maybe there's some promise. The Raiders, you're not sure. So I think second place in the division is achievable. But I do like the fact they went to Camp Pendleton, because I remember when the Chargers were in San Diego, they would go to Miramar, usually once a year around this time frame. And it was just a cool outreach thing, for them to connect with the military.
And Harbaugh was asked about coming back to San Diego. And you think you're going to reopen some doors, San Diego fans? He says, well, we'll play for everybody in Southern California.
Not really. No.
I don't think so. We'll talk about him. We follow him. The people do watch him on TV. I don't think they're supporting him. I apologize in advance. I hope Justin Herbert goes 17-0, and I hope Dean Spanos goes 0-17, and that's what I feel.
But that's a contradiction. It doesn't make any sense.
I know there's counseling and medication for virtually everything. Okay, we go from that